Over here. The Batman!
Gentlemen.
The Batman 1943 movie is a black-and-white serial film that was released in 1943 by Columbia Pictures. It was directed by Lambert Hillier and starred Lewis Wilson as Batman and Douglas Croft as Robin. The serial consisted of 15 episodes, each running for about 17 minutes. The story revolves around Batman and Robin trying to stop the villainous Japanese agent Drive Daka from sabotaging American industry and attacking the United States during World War II. The movie was released during a time when the United States was heavily involved in World War II, and the filmmakers wanted to create a character who could serve as a symbol of American strength and justice. The movie was also notable for being one of the first portrayals of a superhero on film, paving the way for the many adaptations of Batman that have followed over the years. While the film was not a critical success, it was popular with audiences and helped to establish Batman as a cultural icon. The success of the serial led to a sequel in 1949, titled Batman and Robin, which starred Robert Lowery as Batman and Johnny Duncan as Robin. Batman and Robin is a 1949 movie serial featuring the iconic DC Comics characters, Batman and Robin. It was directed by Spencer Gordon Bennett and produced by Sam Katzman. The movie starred Robert Lowery as Batman and John Duncan as Robin. The plot of the movie revolves around Batman and Robin as they try to stop the Wizard, a villain who is wreaking havoc in Gotham City. The Wizard has a device called the remote control that can control any car in the city, and he uses it to commit crimes and evade the police. Batman and Robin must use all their detective skills and gadgets to stop the Wizard and his henchmen. The movie was produced on a low budget, and the production values are not particularly impressive by today's standards. However, it is notable for featuring several iconic Batman villains, including the Joker, the Penguin, and Catwoman. The movie also showcases some of the classic gadgets that Batman and Robin are famous for, such as the Batmobile and the Bat-Signal. While Batman and Robin has not aged particularly well, it remains a notable entry in the history of Batman on film. It was one of the first live-action portrayals of the character, and it helped to establish many of the tropes and conventions that would become associated with Batman in popular culture. The 1966 movie, Batman, is a live-action film based on the popular DC Comics character of the same name. The film stars Adam West as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Burt Ward as Robin, Dick Grayson. The plot of the movie revolves around Batman and Robin trying to stop the Joker, Cesar Romero, the Penguin, Burgess Meredith, the Riddler, Frank Gorshin, and Catwoman, Lee Merriweather, from taking over the world. The villains plan to use a device that turns people into dust, and they hold the United World Security Council hostage in order to get their demands met. The movie is known for its campy and over-the-top humor, as well as its bright, colorful sets and costumes. It was released during a time when superhero comics and TV shows were extremely popular, and it became a huge success. The movie also features a number of iconic moments and quotes, such as Batman's "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb" scene, and the famous "pow" and "zap" graphics that appear during fight scenes. Overall, the 1966 Batman movie is a classic piece of superhero cinema that has become a cult favorite among fans of the character and the genre. The 1989 Batman movie is a superhero film directed by Tim Burton and starring Michael Keaton as Batman, Bruce Wayne, Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. The film was a box office success and received critical acclaim, with many praising its dark tone, cinematography, and performances. The plot of the movie revolves around Batman's efforts to stop the Joker from terrorizing Gotham City. Along the way, Batman meets and falls in love with reporter Vicky Vale and works with Police Commissioner Jim Gordon to bring down the Joker and his gang. One of the most memorable aspects of the movie is Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker, which was praised for its energy, humor, and creepiness. Michael Keaton's portrayal of Batman was also well received, with many fans and critics noting his ability to bring depth and complexity to the character. The film was a departure from the campy tone of the 1960s Batman TV series and instead presented a darker, more serious take on the character. This approach helped to pave the way for other superhero movies that would follow in the years to come. Batman Returns is a 1992 superhero film directed by Tim Burton and starring Michael Keaton as Batman, Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. It is the sequel to the 1989 film, Batman, and the second installment in the Batman film series. The film is set in Gotham City during the Christmas season, where Batman must confront both the Penguin, a deformed and grotesque criminal mastermind, and Catwoman, a former secretary turned vigilante after being pushed out of a window by her boss. The movie received generally positive reviews, with critics praising its dark and atmospheric tone, strong performances, and impressive visual effects. However, some critics and audiences were put off by its more macabre and violent elements, which led to some controversy and criticism from parent groups. Despite the mixed reactions, Batman Returns was a commercial success, grossing over $266 million worldwide. It has since become a cult classic and is considered by many to be one of the best Batman films ever made. Batman Forever is a 1995 American superhero film directed by Joel Schumacher and produced by Tim Burton. It is the third installment in the Batman film series and stars Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne Batman, alongside Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Nicole Kidman as Drive Chase Meridian, and Michael Gough as Alfred Pennyworth. The film follows Batman as he battles Two-Face and the Riddler, who are both wreaking havoc on Gotham City. Meanwhile, Batman also takes in a young acrobat named Dick Grayson, who becomes his sidekick Robin. Along the way, Batman must confront his own inner demons and come to terms with his role as a superhero. The film was a commercial success, grossing over $336 million worldwide, but it received mixed reviews from critics. Some praised the performances of Kilmer, Jones, and Carrey, as well as the film's visuals and score, while others criticized the film's campy tone and departure from the darker themes of its predecessors. Despite its mixed reception, Batman Forever remains a popular entry in the Batman film franchise and has influenced subsequent adaptations of the character in film, television, and other media. Batman and Robin is a 1997 superhero film directed by Joel Schumacher and starring George Clooney as Batman, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, and Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. The film is a sequel to Batman Forever, 1995, and is the fourth installment in the Batman film series. The film follows Batman and Robin as they attempt to stop Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy from taking over Gotham City. Along the way, they are joined by Batgirl, and they must also contend. Has gained a reputation as one of the worst superhero films ever made, with many critics and fans pointing to it as an example of how not to make a comic book movie. However, the film has also gained a cult following for its so bad it's good qualities, with some fans embracing its campy tone and over-the-top performances. Batman Begins is a 2005 superhero film directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne Batman. The film is a reboot of the Batman franchise, and it explores the origins of Batman, his training, and his early career as Gotham City's protector. The film begins with Bruce Wayne as a child witnessing the murder of his parents by a mugger, which motivates him to become Batman in order to fight crime and protect his city. As a young adult, Bruce travels to Asia, where he meets Henri Ducard, Liam Neeson, who trains him in martial arts and offers him a position in the League of Shadows, a secret organization dedicated to eliminating corruption and crime in the world. However, Bruce ultimately rejects the League's extremist methods and returns to Gotham, where he assumes the persona of Batman and begins his crusade against crime. Along the way, he partners with Police Lieutenant Jim Gordon, Gary Oldman, and tech expert Lucius Fox Morgan Freeman to take on the corrupt businessman Carmine Falcone, Tom Wilkinson, and the mad scientist Drive Jonathan Crane, Cillian Murphy, who has developed a toxin that causes hallucinations and fear in its victims. Batman Begins is notable for its darker and more realistic take on the Batman character, as well as its emphasis on character development and psychological depth. The film received critical acclaim upon its release and helped to revitalize the Batman franchise, leading to two sequels, The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, also directed by Christopher Nolan. Batman: The Dark Knight is a 2008 superhero film directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Christian Bale as Batman, Heath Ledger as the Joker, and Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent Two-Face. The film is the second installment in Nolan's Batman film trilogy, and it follows Batman as he teams up with Gotham City's newly appointed district attorney, Harvey Dent, to stop the Joker from wreaking havoc and causing chaos in the city. The film is set 1 year after the events of Batman Begins, and begins with the Joker robbing a bank, which is revealed to be part of a larger plan to take down Batman and the city. The Joker's plan involves creating chaos and sowing discord among the city's criminal underworld, which leads to a series of escalating attacks and confrontations between Batman, the Joker, and the police. The film's themes explore the nature of heroism, the corrupting influence of power, and the thin line between good and evil. The Joker serves as a foil to Batman, representing chaos and anarchy while Batman embodies order and justice. The film also introduces the character of Harvey Dent, a charismatic district attorney who becomes a tragic villain after he is scarred and driven insane by the Joker's actions. Batman: The Dark Knight was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $1 billion worldwide and receiving widespread acclaim for its performances, direction, and themes. The Dark Knight Rises is a 2012 superhero movie directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Christian Bale as the eponymous hero, Batman. The film serves as the final installment in Nolan's Batman trilogy, following Batman Begins, 2005, and The Dark Knight, 2008. The plot of the movie is set 8 years after the events of The Dark Knight, where Batman has disappeared and has not been seen in Gotham City since. The city is enjoying a time of peace, but this all changes when the villainous Bane, Tom Hardy, arrives and sets his sights on destroying Gotham. Batman must return to stop Bane and save the city, but he faces many challenges along the way, including his own physical and mental limitations, as well as the possibility of losing those he cares about. The Dark Knight Rises features an all-star cast, including Anne Hathaway as Selina Kyle Catwoman, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as John Blake, Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, and Michael Caine as Alfred Pennyworth. The movie was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $1 billion at the box office and receiving positive reviews for its action sequences, performances, and themes of redemption and sacrifice. It was also nominated for multiple awards, including an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. The Batman, which is set to be released in 2022. The film is directed by Matt Reeves and stars Robert Pattinson as Batman, Bruce Wayne. The plot of the movie follows a younger Batman in his second year of crime fighting in Gotham City, as he sets out to uncover a corruption scheme that involves some of the city's most powerful people. Along the way, he confronts a number of iconic villains from the Batman universe, including the Riddler played by Paul Dano, the Penguin played by Colin Farrell, and Catwoman played by Zoe Kravitz. The film is intended to be a more grounded and character-driven take on the Batman mythos, emphasizing the detective aspect of the character and exploring his relationship with the people of Gotham City. It is expected to be a darker and more serious interpretation of the character, similar in tone to Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.